those of you who don't know me, I'm Michael Price, and I'm Emily's dad. And I would like to propose a toast to the bride and groom. But first, allow me to say a few words. And I'm reading them because otherwise I would probably go on for a while. With both Emily and her sister Madison coming from a single-parent home, they are both fine young ladies. And one of the reasons for this is having 3 sets of grandparents to learn from. And first was my mom and my stepdad, Al and Ann Head, which are not here tonight. Second was my dad and my stepmom, Jim and Dream Price, which are here tonight, and they're sitting right there. And finally was John and Lois Anglin, who were also here tonight, and they're seated over at this table. And without their help, my daughters would not have become the young women of exceptional quality and character that they are now. And I would like to also say that David Moore and Ryan Adams, which is Madison's husband, are fine young men, and I'm proud to call them sons-in-law. So with that being said, I toast to Mr. and Mrs. David Moore. Salud.
Test. Okay, everyone can hear me good? Ladies and gentlemen, can we give it up for the most important people in the room tonight, the bartenders? Thank you very much for the bartenders. Greetings, everyone. To whoever doesn't know me, my name is Mark. I'm David's brother, and I am very happy to be here tonight to witness Emily and David getting married. And I'm very, very proud. Thank you for letting me have the opportunity to speak at this wonderful wedding. I will try my best not to embarrass David. I will, with this speech specifically, I will leave that for the dance floor later on tonight, where I will surely embarrass you. In all seriousness, I am honored to be up here standing beside my handsome younger brother and his even better looking bride on one of the biggest days of their lives. But before I go on any further, I want to take the time to acknowledge the hands and feet that put this wedding together. So much time and energy goes into these events. So I speak for everyone when I want to say thank you to all who have worked so hard to make this happen. Let's give them a round of applause to everyone that's helped. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. All right. I must state the obvious in the room. Emily, you look absolutely stunning tonight. Yeah, let's give it up. It's the outfit is a nice change in pace for the pants that you typically wear in the relationship. So I also want to make that known. Yeah, I called you out in front of everybody. That's okay. Despite the laughs, Emily, I just want you to know that you look stunning tonight. David, you look stunned to just be here. And we are all pretty stunned ourselves. We thought that Emily would back out the last second, and she didn't. I'm super surprised, and I'm very happy for you. But we could have sworn that she was gonna, back out. All jokes aside, David is the best guy that I know. His blind optimism, passion, and love are what makes him one of the best people I know, and I envy his willingness to pull the trigger on something he wants in life. While some would call that naivety or immaturity, I call it just being ballsy. I love the way he acts, and when he finds something he loves, he's all in. There's not a better testament to that truth than when he first met Emily. She lit up his world, and he's been on fire ever since she came into his life. Additionally, his profound love for his nieces and nephews is a crystal clear example of this as well. He's got a big heart for those around him, and I'm honored to be one of those people in his life. Growing up, David and I had our share of differences and fights. It wasn't until the summer of his sophomore year that we finally became close and we considered best friends. We bonded over video games and would throw down on some Call of Duty and some RuneScape. But our favorite was Halo. We would play into the late hours of the night and would be on the same team. Sometimes we would compete against each other. I would find great joy in hearing him scream when I would wipe the floor with him. Yeah, you hear that, Emily? He's a screamer. You should know that. While I'm up here, I want you to know, David, that even though you and I have been through some of the most depressing and defeating obstacles in life together, we have come out on the other side as stronger men. Throughout the years, I would put on the big brother face, try to be tough for you as your older brother so that we could get through whatever we were going through. But today, I have to tell you that I'm so very proud of you. And I truly respect you as a man and a brother. No matter what happens in life, I know that we can always reminisce about the good times and live life like there are plenty more to come. It truly meant the world to me that you asked me to be up here tonight. And as this life goes further and you and Emily begin to grow in your marriage, I hope you know that I have your back as much as you've always had mine. I love you, man. So here comes the conclusion of me wrapping up, okay? I'll leave you all with this. David and Emily found each other at the perfect time, and she truly has brought out the best in him. She put joy on his face and added more meaning to his life. Your commitment to each other throughout these last 5+ years, closer to 6, am I right? Yeah, closer to 6, has been admirable, and surely that love and dedication are going to continue throughout this marriage. You have both been blessed with this amazing, unbreakable love, and I will support your marriage in every way possible. Your relationship, this wedding, and now this marriage will be a testimony for others to see what real love looks like. I look forward to many more years of friendship, laughs, and memories we will all make together. I wish you a beautiful marriage and an even better life together. So if we can all raise our glasses and give a toast to the bride and groom. Hear, hear.
Hello. Mark is going to be hard to follow because I didn't write anything. And it's a little more candid. But I'm Madison, so I am Emily's older sister. And we're so close in age, so we grew up together. Very, very one after the other. So anyone who obviously has kids or siblings knows that the younger sibling always follows the older sibling. And we were no different, but you don't know it when you're, in that phase. So when we were younger, we had the normal relationship. But I remember on my 20th birthday, Emily sent me a very simple message, and it was, I don't know where I'd be today without you to look up to. And I just remember that hit me so hard because I thought about it and I was like, I had no idea that you were looking up to me. I was doing my own thing, and I guess you were just watching. But then I thought about it a little more, and we had so many great examples in our life that I was taking from. But of course, I also, anyone who knows me, march to the beat of my own drum a little bit. And I guess Emily was next in line, looking up, as I was. Then, of course, she became an adult, and she started, trusting herself a little more and relying on herself, and she grew into herself. And now she has someone else in her life that she can now look up to again. So that would be you, David. and I'm passing on the responsibility of taking care of this one. You know, she means a lot to me. Yeah. So hey, I'm watching you. So I'm gonna leave you with one last thing, and then we'll toast. Maggie needs a cousin. And then, yes, someday, maybe soon. All right, and if everyone would raise their glasses to David and Emily. Thank you.
Thank you, Madison. Next up, we have Jonathan.
Good evening, everyone. I actually dressed like this so that Mark looked better than I did because my speech is going to blow his out of the park. So basically, I want to start by saying adventures. And anybody that has the pleasure of knowing David, we know that David is an adventurer. One of my earliest memories is my mother, right there, chasing my brother at 3 o'clock in the morning, naked. He stripped down naked and was running free in the neighborhood. He found out how to unlock the door, and my mother called crying. We ran outside and looked for him. So David's an adventurer. Very proud of where he is right now. He's fully dressed, so that's a plus. What can I say about my little brother? Well, maybe not little brother, my younger brother, because he is not a little man. He's quite the man that we all are here today. I guess, talking about adventure, David and I have had a lot of ups and downs. We've had some tragedy in our life, and we've grown to be very close. And unfortunately for Emily, she has many Christmases of yelling and screaming and begging just to have a few words in. With my sister and my brothers and all 27 kids that all of us have had. So, Emily, your patience knows no bounds. Christmas takes like 5 hours for us. Actually, Emily has a shot-by-shot. If you guys would like to watch that, we can put it on the projector or something. It's very entertaining. But I guess really what I want to do is give you guys some advice. I've been married 8 years now. It's about trials and tribulations in marriage. Love is crazy. It's crazy. And we kind of talked about it earlier before. So my advice for your marriage is laugh when the dinner's burnt. You know, cry when you need to cry. Watch the movies. Just absolutely, you have horrible days. You're going to yell at each other. You're going to be upset. Don't go to bed angry. Don't leave. Just remember that you guys are now one. You're a unit. You guys don't ever have to do anything by yourself anymore. And there comes a lot of strength in that. Emily, when David talks about you, when we're playing at Discord 3 o'clock in the morning, he has nothing but wonderful things to say, and he just lights up. And seeing that from my little brother, I couldn't ask for anything more. You're an amazing woman, and I am very proud to call you my sister now. So, please just keep the house full of mustard and lemon juice. Fun fact about David, he eats popcorn with lemon juice. I don't recommend it. Do not recommend it, but that is one of his favorites. So I just wanted to end by saying I'm extremely proud of you both, and I love you. Emily, thank you for taking my brother and taking such wonderful care. I couldn't be prouder of the sister I have today. And thank you for loving my brother so much. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, Jonathan. Next up, we've got Joel.
Hello, everybody. I'm Joel, one of David's best friends, and I'm just going to make this pretty much short and sweet. I just want to say that I'm so thankful to be here today celebrating your marriage with you guys. David, I love you so much, and Emily, he means the world to you. Every time I see him look into your eyes, his eyes light up. I've never seen him more joyous ever in my life. I'm so thankful to call you a brother, a friend, and someone to look up to. I pray you guys have an amazing marriage. Thank you for letting me be here to celebrate this day with everyone.
Thank you, Jared. And now we have Jared.
Well, hi. My name is Jared. I'm also one of David's best friends. And David is more than a friend to me. He is a brother, a mentor, a role model, and more. He's a brother that I never knew I needed, but I'm so glad to have him in my life. I'm so thankful to call both of you family, and I wish you guys the best marriage, and I'm so thankful to be a part of your special day. Love you guys.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have Michelle. Maybe. Hold on. Just kidding. Harmony. Where's Harmony? Come on up, Harmony. Make her feel welcome. Harmony, y'all. Come on. Yeah.
Sorry, forgot to tell you before. Okay, so this was very unplanned, so here I am. But I already had something kind of in my head that I was planning on telling David, so I'm just gonna go with that. Oh, I am Emily's little sister. It goes Madison, then Emily, then me. I've looked up to both of them my entire life, just how Maddie was describing up here. I remember the first time I met David. I thought he was a pretty friendly guy. He had some jokes. I was like, okay. I was like 15 or 16 at the time, so I was like, we'll see. We'll see about this. But it didn't take long for me to realize that she was super in love with him, and this was her person. And I've gotten teary-eyed a couple times tonight. They haven't really came down fully. I haven't let them because they spent way too long on my makeup. But I just want to say that I'm so happy for you guys, and I know that everything we've gone through so much, even just the three of us, and I'm so honored to be here and to be in your wedding, and I love you so much. As much as we bicker and banter and go back and forth, she never lets me forget the fact that I almost threw a rollerblade at her, but it's okay. No, we have a funny little relationship, and we like to poke fun at each other, but this is my big sister, and she's my world, and I'm trying not to cry. But David, I love you so much. You are not only somebody that Emily deserves, but Emily deserves you as well. And I can't wait to just see what happens and watch your guys' love story just continue on. This is crazy, and I'm getting emotional, but I love you guys, and I guess raise your glasses if I have that authority. And let's toast to the newlyweds! I love you guys.
Thank you, Harmony. Next up, we have Justice.
Hello? Okay. How do I start? I shouldn't take advice from you on how to start. Well, let's see. I guess I'll say how much I appreciate David as a person. My bad. I'm Emily Moore's little sister, little brother. Emily Moore's little brother. I don't understand. I didn't make the joke that I wanted to make yet. Anyways, at least I hope I'll do better than Joel and Jared, because those were awful. Let's see. I wanted to come up here, mostly because David told me to, but I wanted to say that I am quite happy, to be able to be one of David's groomsmen and stand next to him as he gets married. And could you stop laughing for like a second? Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. I was somewhere. Anyways, I'm very happy and very delighted, very honored to be at Emily's wedding, my older sister, and be able to stand here and say thank you. If you could just thank you. You guys, you're throwing me off by laughing. It's not fair. You didn't do this with Joel and Jared, and now mine's probably worse. My heart's racing. I love both of them, and I'm happy for both of them. And please raise your glasses for Emily and David.
Thank you, Justice.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I am Michelle. This handsome guy just calls me Mama. So I am David Moore's mom, and Emily Moore's mother-in-law. First time? Woo! I'm trying so hard not to cry. I'm not going to cry again. So I wrote down some notes. I think it's important that you know a few things about David, some of my best memories. And I did ask myself that question, and one of my best memories of David is one of the best ways I can describe him. And I think Jonathan put some comments in there that I have here, and that is that he has a passion for life. Not just exuberant, but what's the word? Expressive about said passion. You know what I mean? That can be hard to cope with for some people, but I embrace that and I encourage it. So Emily is that person, his person, who also embraces it and encourages it, right? You encourage? Okay, yeah. So there's been some times, but mostly she does, and I need that for him. But I've got this, one of my best memories with David, and I don't know if you'll know that this is the one I picked. There's so many with all my kids. I have to say that. I love you all the same. But for David, we used to call him Burrow Boy when his dad was still alive. It would be usually a Saturday morning for his dad, but every day for me. I don't know if you remember this, but he used to come in our bedroom before the sun rose. It was his thing. Always an early riser, burrow under the covers from the bottom of the bed, work his way all the way up to the top between his dad and me. And he did this every day. And when he started, in one of those mornings, you know how they stick their fingers in your nose, your ears, your eyes, that kind of thing? He's maybe 2 years old. I decided to distract him, and I said, look out the window. Look at the sky. That's called the sunrise. And I told him that God created art for us or something like that. And he got hooked on that. So instead of us being able to catch a few Z's when he would do the Burrow Boy thing, we used to sometimes catch a few Z's. He would just play with his fingers and feet or something. But now he insisted that we look out the window and we examine what God created. And what David called that, he would critique it's got pink, see purple, all the 2-year-old cute little things. But he used to call it, a beautiful wake up. But he said it like a 2-year-old, right? He's like, a beautiful wake up, that kind of thing. But he called it a beautiful wake up. And I thought, this is my favorite memory. It's a passion for life, it's exuberance, it's expressing that passion. It's annoying as hell for a lot of people, right? Because we were tired, right? I had 3 other kids. But, and it's routine. And he never actually did, he always was an early riser, even as an early teenager. So he kind of continued that. But he continued that exuberance for life. It's no surprise that he's chosen such a woman as Emily, and I'll get to her in just a minute as to why, but it doesn't surprise me. It's been a journey, right? so interesting. And anyway, I won't go there. But I do have some notes. So that's one of my favorite memories of David is exactly right, his passion for life. Another is his generous heart. And I use the word generous because it was given to me. And I know you know this story, but it was the last day of third grade. I was in the school office. This woman comes up to me and very emotionally, stranger, don't know her, she says, I want to thank you, very emotional, and she grabbed my arm. I want to thank you for raising a son with such a generous heart. And I said, whatever. What do you mean? Or something like that. And she said, my son is autistic, so I help out in the class. And he has trouble controlling himself, so something like the kids are not friendly to him, right? They don't like him. He's just annoying. And David, as early as third grade that I know of, decided to befriend him. And she said one day, and I remember this day, I didn't know this story, but she said one day he had trouble controlling his arms, and David was sitting next to him, and he actually whacked him in the face, blood coming down his face, and David was trying to calm down this boy who got very upset and said, trying to calm him down, assuring him he's not mad. And he said, buddy, it's just an accident. And this woman was in tears because that friendship throughout the school year, it was the last day, I had no idea he was this way. She said he stood up for him, he took up for him. And there's many more examples like that, I won't go on, but that is a generous heart to me. And so that's kind of who he is. There's some other stories too, Jonathan also said adventure, I think you said. And there's some adventures, I was gonna share it, but I won't share it. It's called The Great Escape, but I won't share that. You can ask David about it later if you wanna know. It's a great story. I call it mother's gut feeling, but again, ask David about it. Ask him about that. Or you can ask me, I'll stop by the table, I'll tell you. So I won't go into it here, but anyway, sorry, I know it's a little run-on-y, but I wanna just find my notes here. Okay, so I did want to share this again. I keep kind of copying Jonathan's, but I don't mean to. So carrying this, I wrote some notes, and I did talk about this great passion, right? He always had this great passion. Open heart, exuberance, right? Just had openness. Again, can be annoying, but in general, like life. I used to see David when you were 9 or 10. I was a single mom working, trying to not lose my job at the beginning of a mortgage crisis type of deal. And I would just always kind of panic mode like that, always driving. And I remember watching David one Saturday, walking around the neighborhood, watching him, and talking with neighbors that clearly had spoken with him previously, with their dogs, petting their dog like he knew them. He had this whole world I didn't know of at age 9 or 10 with our neighbors. And again, he's never met a stranger type of thing, and he knew all of the neighbors' names. He knew all of their dogs' names, and which makes sense, you're in the industry you're in, sales. But anyway, that was him. And another example of his spirit, I guess you could say. I guess what I wanted to leave you with is some thoughts, well, actually first about Emily, can't miss that. I do have some specific notes. I don't want to miss a beat because this was very well thought out. Okay, so here's what I wrote about you, so this is true. Okay, so it is also, this is a quote from me to myself. It's also no surprise to me today that David is marrying a woman of such substance and warmth. He has always had a genuine heart for people, and there have been many proud moments, even considering the teenage transgressions, etc. But as far as, I'm not quite into Emily, the thing about carrying that openness and passion in your heart is that some of life's disappointments, right, the kind that you expect, consequences to actions, and the kind that aren't so fair, right? Those seem to hit harder when you're open, when you're you're not guarded. You're not guarded. You're a passionate person. You have great expectations, all of that. And so they seem to hit harder. what I have enjoyed and what I have witnessed is what I like to call David's the path of reconciliation. What I mean by that is taking his, total trust in the world. Sorry, but you're not so tough. His optimistic attitude and reconciling that with these sometimes great disappointments in life. And I have watched him experience that which must be experienced and still finding his beautiful wake up, if you get it. You know what I mean? Still finding that streak across the sky type of thing. It's tough to do that. And that's what I see in you. And speaking of the beautiful wake up, I would like to give it up for Emily, this woman who has absolutely... It is, I do say that Emily has truly impressed me. I don't want to say driven because that sounds so materialistic, so I'm not going to say that, right? But I've also had to be driven for other reasons. It's like something has been driving you. I don't know what that is because I don't think even after 5.5 years, I don't think I know you well enough yet. But I have seen that. So you have impressed me as a woman of substance and warmth. And drive, I'll say it. You're one of the most committed women I know, giving it your 110% every time. I've witnessed this firsthand. I don't know if I should say as you or as she, third person, you know what I mean? But as you have, I mean it to you, as you've worked 3 jobs, getting through college, all while acclimating to my son's great passion for you. I'll leave that as an open statement, acclimating to his passion, right? For all that it was. Okay, so that's a lot, right? And I've seen that. I see you, and I may not know you as I will 5 years from now, but I sure know you better today. You know what I mean? I've known you in a way that I didn't 5 years ago. So I do see you. Anyway. I won't go there either, sorry. I don't want to, I'm trying to, okay, so trying not to get too much. The other thing I've noticed is that Emily never quits. When Murphy's Law closes one door, okay, this is the part this is why I'm giving this speech, blessing, toast, whatever you want to call it, is because when Murphy's Law closes one door, you know how to find another and walk through with absolute grace. I do rest easy knowing my son has partnered in marriage with such a powerhouse of a woman. Together, they have been unstoppable and inseparable. Sometimes too much, You need to have that. Anyway, but they have, right? So they have worked hard, no doubt about it. They have learned lessons again and again and have learned them. They have built a strong foundation. This is through the 5.5 years, right? This has been a growth process. Amazing to see it. But a strong foundation of communication, compromise. What I have loved to see, actually, I'm not going to, but I had another story. Truly, I just witnessed Emily doing this because we've really connected during this wedding thing. But it's almost like a fierce protectiveness of one another's happiness, if that makes sense. Like, you know how you can be fiercely protective of your person? I'm talking about of their happiness, right? What they need to be happy. They're protecting that. So very interesting. There was a situation, again, I wish I could just tell all the stories. I'll stop soon. But, so I guess the last thing I was actually looking for this really great Bible verse, and I couldn't find one that wasn't stuffy. So that didn't happen. But I want you to know I'm really glad you had a blessing. I did speak to the guy. I don't know if that was for me or whatever. I just have this feeling like, if we're wrong, so what? But I do feel like it's I'm happy that you had the blessing there. I was going to do the same. Nothing kind of clicked, so not doing that. But David, I am talking to you here. I don't know if it's politically correct or I don't know if it's the thing, but I will tell you, I get to say it because I'm your mom. Lead your family spiritually, financially, meaning, I don't mean that you have to be the breadwinner type of thing, but take ownership in a way that you hold yourself accountable, however you divvy things up. I don't know if that makes sense, and if it doesn't, we can talk later. And I'm certainly not one to speak about successful marriages, okay? But I can tell you that. So I did want to say that to you. I really do, I guess I want to say, in addition to Emily, I'm grateful for, I have to say it, your 3 younger siblings have been a true blessing. Love those kids. You guys, they're hilarious. Anyway, they are really great kids. Continue to do well, kids, wherever you are. Huh? Where? Harmony, really? Really? I didn't know. You were coming? No, 4 younger siblings. Oh, sorry. I meant, okay, here's what I'm saying. Harmony knows. We've talked. So the 3 youngest, can I say that? The 3, I'm specifically pointing out. Way to go, Emily. You strong woman, you. Just say it. No, but I really, so I've enjoyed meeting. They're kind of like coming with, so I did want to mention that. So anyway, I'm rambling, and you know that. But I just want to say thank you for sharing your life with me. Thank you for sharing some of these moments during the preparation of your wedding, because that sure made a difference for us, you and I. So thank you. So it's about both of you, but really that right there, and you know it. So I know Emily and David, with your strong foundation, you're going to have an amazing life together. Thank you for including me. I'm grateful. All right, let's lift it up. Do we have anything left to drink?